how sometimes when, you know, when you've just started homeschooling and there's just so many choices now. I know, when we started homeschooling
Mhm.
that there weren't very many choices and it was just brand new. Um, and that was about, like 17, 20 years ago. And there
Yep.
wasn't all of these neat curriculum options that there are now. And but now it can be really overwhelming.
Mhm.
And just knowing what to do and what to choose, it can just be really complicated. And we just kind of, wouldn't it be nice if there was just a simple way to do it that was just straightforward and that we could just easily know what to do? Because I think what a lot of us do is try to take um, try to take the classroom and bring it home and make it work that way. So I am here with Dell and Michelle Bartlett. I've had them on before, and they are fantastic. They have written 2 books on traveling with your family. They have 4 children, and is it 2 grandchildren?
Five.
5 grandchildren.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
You have us outnumbered. We've just got 2, and
Oh, yeah,
so
we
fun to be
double.
grandparents, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's the best. Yeah.
And they
awesome.
Dell and Michelle homeschooled for like 20 years,
Mhm.
and they have really been pondering, I think, what to do to help parents who are just starting homeschooling. And they really have actually, I mean, they've given this so much thought. They have a website and a whole um, um, I'm just gonna let them explain what it's all about. This is so
Sure.
exciting. And I just really wanted to have them on to come and explain the neat things they have for homeschoolers
Yeah,
now.
we'd be happy to. So really through this last year and a half, right? In all the craziness, there's a lot of people who ended up homeschooling and they didn't plan on it. Or B, they actually started thinking about homeschooling when they never had thought about it before. And during this time, we saw this change happening and this need. And we actually have our business partner who started seeing this and noticed that people were asking questions and wanting to know more information. So she put out an email, is that right?
She
And
just put
had
out a Facebook
That's
post.
what it
Yeah.
was, and had like 400
Yeah.
responses. And so she started doing classes at her home and had so many people coming, but it's just not sustainable, right? And then you're telling the same thing over and over again. And so we got with her, started filming those, and I'll let Dell tell a little bit more. It's just turned into this
Yeah.
incredible project.
She's pulled us out of retirement, and
I
because we
wish.
were retired from homeschooling.
True.
Yeah,
Your
we were
kids are
pulled out
pretty
of the
graduated
homeschooling part.
now,
Yeah,
right?
all of our kids are out of the house
Graduated,
and
yeah.
graduated. We graduated with them, and so we're sitting here looking at this mess that's going on with schooling systems and
Mhm.
not being able to teach, and parents being frustrated. And Natalie Reeves, who is our business partner, and her husband Dan, Natalie started just teaching these classes, and I looked at what she had written, and I go, this is exactly what needs to be taught to parents, so that they can set up the right environment for their homeschooling. So I asked Natalie, what is your plan on this? And she goes, I don't know. She goes, I'm just going to teach these classes until I can't teach them anymore. And I go, well, that will never happen. First of all, you will always have something more to teach. And second of all, it's not sustainable, like Michelle said. I said, so what if I came up and I started videotaping all of your content that you're putting out to parents? Because it seriously, it is amazing the way that she has
Incredible.
set it up. I wish we would have we made us want to start homeschooling again. We
Oh,
don't even have kids to homeschool.
absolutely. She is phenomenal. So she was a school teacher for many years before. So she implemented a lot of these things, went to get her master's degree at George Wythe University with Oliver and Rachel DeMille. And so she has a lot of different things that she pulls in, but it's just so good and so basic to get started. You got to tell them what Megan said.
Oh, so well, let's look at that. There's really 5 core things that you need to know about homeschooling, or to kind of set things up properly. And when you have those 5 core things set up in the right order, then it becomes a whole lot easier to kind of get the whole thing started in the right way. And like you said, most people, what they do is they just bring school home.
Right.
But that's
what
not
else do we know, right?
exactly, that's what you know. And so there's the 5 core things. Is the first thing you have to do is you have to get off the school treadmill. And so we'll show you that. Then the next one is to create the right environment in your home. And then the next thing is to understand your child's learning personality. And then look at the teaching style. The fourth thing is to understand the teaching style that goes with that child's personality. Because as somebody who grew up with many learning disabilities, ADHD, dyslexia.
Oh, wow.
I didn't learn the way other kids learned. My personality was so different than what the school system wanted it to be. And they couldn't teach me the way I needed to be taught.
You know how it's really good if you're in that box. He's way outside the box.
So he's far outside the box. There's another box that I'm outside.
Yeah, he's like across.
Aren't we all blessed now that you didn't just fit into that box everyone's supposed to fit into? And
right.
Exactly. And then once you have that teaching style, then you can start doing your personal homeschooling plan and putting it together. But most people just go straight for that. They just say, okay, let's start putting together a plan. Well, what do we know? Well, we know that we got to teach math, we got to teach English, we got to teach some kind of history, we got to, and so math in most schools is like 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, kids sit down for 45 minutes an hour. Here's math, start doing math. Well, that doesn't work at home like it does at school.
No,
it just doesn't. And kids get frustrated. Parents then get frustrated and they go, okay, I'm done with this. This is dumb. I don't want to do this.
Yeah. And I can't do it. I'm just not a good homeschooler.
Yeah,
so we're going to quit.
So what we need to do is let me go here and share the page here real quick. And it might help as we go through this here a little bit.
Just for people to be able to see it. It's interesting. Our one son, when we brought our kids home, I would move his desk by the front door. He was probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 at that time. And he would like read his math problem and then he'd walk around his chair, do a somersault and whatever, and come back and know the answer.
Yeah. But he'd figure it out while I was doing all of that.
It was a little bit distractive, right? Is that what I want to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, distractive for the other kids. And so he did better if he had a little bit of his own space. But being at home makes it possible that you can tailor it to whatever your child's needs are.
But can you imagine how distractive that is at a school?
Not be allowed.
Yeah, not allowed.
Not do that.
Let me share a screen here real quick and I'll show you. Let's share. Okay. So this is the front part of the web page. And what we really wanted to do here was we wanted to create a learning center for parents. This isn't going to give you, eventually we're going to have some curriculum on here that you can choose from and you can look at. What's really cool that we want to do on this is in the store, there are so many homeschooling parents who have developed curriculum. We want to have that curriculum available to others on our store, and then parents can receive income to help fund their homeschooling through the sale of their curriculum that they're doing. And the vast majority of the income is going to go to them, not to us. We want to build this type of community and sharing capabilities. And if someone wants to just give their curriculum for free, it'll be on there for free.
Which we have some right now for Richard Paul Evans. So for his Michael Vase series.
Yeah. So that's on there for free. But this is the system. And we can say, okay, let's go to the learning center. Now you need to be logged in and you need to be a subscriber, or it's not a subscription, it's a one-time fee, lifetime fee, and then you're in. But in the learning center, make sure that I get here. Okay. I'm a subscriber, and there's a couple of things I'm switching up right now on this to make it just easier. This is to get off the treadmill. These are all the videos that explain how to get off the treadmill, how to decompress, how to say, you know what? Most parents go, okay, I've got my kids home, I got to start teaching them. No, you don't. We had a 13-year-old daughter who, when we started homeschooling, she was 13 years old. By the time she was 16, she had a full ride scholarship to the university. Okay. So you don't need to make sure that they keep up with the class, because they're going to go so much faster. That take this time and decompress both yourself and for the kids. The kids need to get off of that treadmill. They have been on this treadmill at school nonstop every day for as long as they've been in school.
And this is an adjustment for them, but
Yeah.
all of these videos will explain more about that. And it's incredible because it helps you to know from different people's perspective. Now, we're older, probably a little older than you, but we homeschooled for 20 years and then we haven't for 8 or so because our kids are now older. But it helps to have perspectives of a new mom that was a teacher and somebody who's a little bit older. And so we've got a mix of things that are really helpful for people.
And this is so vital. And while the parents are decompressing, they're starting to look at what do we need to do to create the right environment. So what is the missions? What are the cultures? What are the priorities that you have? There's a whole video on that one. Create an overarching vision of what you're really going to do and how it's going to be. What Natalie did in this series is she took the creation of the world, and whether you're religious or not, it doesn't really matter. She took that model of the creation and she created how to create the right environment for homeschooling through the overarching vision, through creating, the relationships. I'm telling you, if you don't have your relationships right with your children in a homeschooling environment, it's not going to work. How do you do that? Create a sanctuary of learning, how to create the rhythm of homeschooling. Having that rhythm is so vitally important. Mm-hmm. And yes, there's times when you kind of get off, but those off times have a rhythm to them as well. Creating the freedom of letting your children be who they are. If they need to walk around to figure out a math problem, let them have that freedom to do those types of things. And then creating a healthy life and rewards. She has an amazing way of rewarding her children that they actually, her kids, and she talks about it in this, her kids actually pay for all of their homeschooling materials, all of their clothes. She creates a store for them. And then the rewards is their, they call them Reeves, because that's her last name, Reeves dollars. And the kids earn these Reeves dollars as they go along. And then they get to pay for all of the things they're doing. So they have skin in the game on this whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many great tips and so much information. Again, you'll be blown away. Every time I would go and listen to her, I thought, okay, let's do this over again. Or, can I do it with my grandkids? Of course, that's not quite as feasible, but I would love it.
Yeah. So there's all these different videos for these different things, teaching your child's personality. I want to go really quickly to here in the let's get started section. And there's a place down here. Let me scroll down to it here. This is the quiz. This is how to find out what your child's personality is. You just go in here. I would describe my child and you go through it. If you go through it all, it will then talk about what kind of personality they are. Are they an otter style learner? Are they a koala learner? Are they an owl learner? Are they, and then there's one more in here that the tiger and bee you know, type of learner, then the L. Then we've got another one that's kind of a learning style that works with pretty much all kinds of kids. It's more of the Montessori style. And so it's a good one to kind of start with, that style, because it's very interactive with kids and it kind of gets kids' creativity going. But then once you do that, you then create the homeschooling plan. And in the homeschooling plan, we have all kinds of videos. I'm gonna go back to the Learning Center, but all kinds of videos that are designed specifically for setting up your, pull this up real quick. It's coming. I don't know why it's slow tonight. Here's your personal plan. Now we need to set up the plan. What to expect for your first 3 months, for your older kids, for your younger kids, what to expect for the first 3 months for you, and how to set that up properly. Your checklist. How do you use checklists, or do you use theme boxes, or do you use, you know, how do you set these things up? How do you create a socialization plan? Because that's one of the biggest fallacies of homeschooling is socialization.
Yeah, but don't you hear that question a lot? You probably did when you were homeschooling, right?
Yeah, my kids aren't going to be socialized. And we say,
but that's the reason that you go to school, is to be socialized.
Yeah.
What, to like respond to bells, or to, you know, like, what does that mean? And it can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But yeah.
Well, most of it is negative socialization. Yeah. And we told people we'll socialize our children. We'll swear up and down the hallway like sailors, and we'll lock them in the bathroom and steal their lunch money. If we want to socialize our kids like they are at school, we can do that at home, you know?
And we know there's good socialization that happens as well, right? But
kids are not nice.
Exactly. We were at a homeschool event, and actually this lady that wasn't homeschooling her child and I were talking, and this 15-year-old boy comes and he joins the conversation as an adult, and he's
because he knew how, right?
Exactly.
I see that.
He had those skills and those abilities. And I turned to her and I go, you can tell when you're talking to a 15-year-old homeschool boy, because 15-year-old boys don't talk to adults. They barely talk to themselves.
But I think that's the great thing with homeschool is that age no longer becomes an issue, right? Like older kids really interact well with the younger kids and vice versa. And it doesn't matter if they're with somebody that's 20 years older or 30 years older, they can still be interactive in a wonderful way. So that's
and it's not abnormal to see a homeschooler with a baby on their hip, you know, even a girl or a boy, because they're good with all ages.
Yeah. In fact, all the kids were down in the yard earlier, and the older kids were pushing the younger kids on the swing, and they were on the teeter. Then this 15-year-old comes up and talks with adults. That to me is the right kind of socialization that children get in homeschooling that they don't get anywhere else.
Right.
And that. So we go through, there's a great video on that. There's a great video on getting the love of learning into your children, using mentors and tutors, the scholar phase, getting into college. You don't have to go to college. In fact, there's a lot of reasons now not to go to college.
There are.
And so we talk about that. But if you're heading towards college, we have videos on how to get to college. We have an entire booklet that it will walk you through every step, what you need for paperwork to submit to a college to make sure your child's not only accepted into college, but is available for grants, or not grants, but for scholarships.
So it's got a list of everything you need to put together everything and templates for your transcripts. So Dell really put a lot of work into that from what we did with our kids. And I think it will make it so much easier for those that don't really know how are you going to do this with a homeschooling child if your child's going to college.
Yeah.
Well, and that right there is worth so much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge.
To know how to do the transcript and
that
and
class
you don't
alone
just do transcript.
Oh,
you had to go
exactly.
to college. You could use transcripts. Transcripts are required in other areas, like, if you
Work.
need to get in, if your child wants to get into the military or
Mm,
that. And so,
A lot of
and
jobs
then just having
require.
that record
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
is helpful.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, and we talk about that as well, that a lot of jobs require these transcripts, and you have to, and when do you start keeping those records? When does your child, the thing about homeschooling is there really is no junior high and high school.
yeah,
And people have to totally get that out of their heads, that there really isn't. I had a mom come and says, well, what do you do with junior high and high school? I go, there is no junior high and high school. There's a scholar phase. And when your child is ready for the scholar phase, they could be 10 and ready for scholar phase. They could be 20 and ready for scholar phase. They could be, ours was ready at 13 for scholar phase. And
It's so
it just depends.
individual.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing too.
But you have to know when to start, when that begins, so that you can start keeping all the transcripts and everything, because that's what you're using for the transcript, is that scholar phase. So that's in there. And then once you've got all of those 5 key core areas set up properly, then you can start doing other things. So we're going to have videos that is an entire series of how to travel with your children.
Oh, and you already know how much we love that, right?
yes, I do.
So
I've learned so much from you about traveling.
Well, we're taking all of that and we're putting them into modules, so people can, instead of reading them, if they want to, they can just plug in their headphone and just listen to them.
Or watch them.
Yeah. Because there are interactive things where I'll bring in websites and other things within this as well. So, and then at Christmas time, we have the 12 days of Christmas learning. And I'm telling you, this is absolutely fantastic. And during that time,
totally in depth.
Oh,
I just have to add, it's amazing. And there's booklets that go with every single one of these days, that this is basically your Christmas curriculum created for you. Because a lot of people want to take that time off, but they don't want to take it totally off of learning, but they don't really want to spend the time because there's Christmas shopping and their parties and everything else. This is now from Christmas until New Year's, you've got everything planned.
Wow. It just looks so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Then on top of that, we have a store, but we haven't really been able to fill out the store yet, but we're hoping to fill out the store. We want homeschool kids that have written books. We want their books in the store.
Oh, cool.
We want moms and dads who have built curriculum. We want that into the store. We have free products. The free products right now are a lot of videos, and there are interview series. We've interviewed some of the key, just amazing influencers in the homeschooling community. And so these are the interviews that we've done so far. And you can just sit and listen to these interviews. And then we've got different downloads, other free videos that are available. With a lot more coming. We're going to continually just add to it. Yeah. Which is beautiful. And then we've got curriculum that's available right now. Richard Paul Evans, national known, I think he's got 25 plus New York Times bestsellers. He wrote a series called Michael Vey for older kids, because he went, and it was kind of during the vampire stage, where they were, all the kids were reading what was that even called? Oh, Twilight. The Twilight series. Yeah. And so all of the junior high and high school kids were reading that. Well, that ended. And then all the copycat vampire books. And he said he walked into a bookstore and looked in the young adult section. And he said there wasn't anything that was redeeming about any of the books. But the really cool thing about this, and we'll just touch on it, is that the hero has Tourette syndrome. And so the whole idea was for him to be able to show to kids that you can have something, whatever it is, Tourette's or whatever it is, autism or whatever, and still be the hero of your story, the hero of this story. Yeah. And so it's just great, because he has Tourette's and so does his son, whose name is actually Michael, and that's named after. But so that was sort of the inspiration behind it. But he's had kids that have come to him and said, at book signings, I didn't know
that I was that cool, because I have this issue with Tourette's as well. But when I read your books, now I know that I have power. Like I can be something amazing. So the books
so
are really
cool.
powerful, and kids love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
There's a whole series of them. The first three had curriculum built around them. And the curriculum's for free. He's given it to us to put on here for free. Additionally,
Wow.
we are going to be offering travel tours. Right now, we have a tour set for Turkey for October 2nd through the 12th. We have reduced the price from $2,300 to $2,095. And that includes all of the hotels, the internal flights. You just need to get a flight over. And if you read our book or listen to those modules beforehand, you can figure out how to get that for free. So, but we're going to have more tours as well. Yeah, meals.
2 meals a day, all the tours, getting into all of the different things, and 3 different places. So Istanbul, Cappadocia,
and Ephesus.
Wow. Wow. I want to go.
Yeah, it's an amazing.
Totally want our family to sign up for this.
Yeah.
It's
awesome. This is an
amazing.
We've been to Turkey, and we did it as an add-on to one of our other tours to Greece. And people said that went on to the Turkey, by far it was their favorite part of it. Greece, they said, was fine. It was good, but Turkey was that much better. Yeah. And Turkey it's an amazing place if you really want to look at history and how things evolved in that Europe, Asia conflict part right there.
Yeah,
so,
history and culture and foods, and it is incredible. And we only went to Istanbul.
Yeah, before. And now we're going to Cappadocia and Ephesus.
If you haven't seen, I don't know if you have pictures of Cappadocia, but if you haven't seen it, you should go look at Cappadocia. It's incredible, amazing. And Ephesus, of course, is just inspiring to be there. And
just to have you as the tour guides, I know that you've been there and you've traveled to so many places.
It'll be fun.
You
so
just
that's
really want
area
to study the history and then be able to go with your family. Wouldn't that be amazing? And you know how to do it so inexpensively.
And we try to keep these costs down as much as we possibly can, to make sure that it's somewhat affordable. And then we understand still $2,000 is a lot per person for a family. So you have to look at how to do that. But look at how kids can do fundraisers. Have your kids get creative as to how they can find ways to pay for it. If you think it can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's
I know that then just the ways come to you when you decide that you're going to do something.
Correct.
And you decide to do it, the ways just come and it becomes doable.
So when people say, "Yep, I want to go," I tell them, "Do it. Let's go. Let's make it happen." And let's roll with it. Now in the springtime, we're looking at creating a Revolutionary War tour back east. We still haven't put that all together, but we're talking about that come this next spring, not this spring. That would be the one after this tour. So Michelle's kind of working on that, and then we're gonna create other tours that are specifically designed for homeschoolers to put that education to real life and that, like we talk about. So
sweet. Does that mean we're going to Disneyland?
No. And then the other thing we've created here is
it's fun, but
our
not
group,
quite as educational.
Our groups, and we want other groups to come on. A lot of people are just totally fed up with Facebook, and I get it, but it's so hard to leave because that's where pretty much everything is. But we're going to have groups within this here that people can come and they can have their opinion without having it be censored by Facebook, and good, bad, or indifferent. We're not going to allow really bad stuff on there. We're not going to allow anything on there that's going to be harmful to children, but you're going to be able to have an opinion, and it's going to be your opinion, and everybody's going to know that you're not forcing them to follow your opinion. It's just your opinion. But I think
we all come with our different opinions because we're all supposed to help each other to see different perspectives.
Yeah,
we have different personalities, pick up different things. Absolutely. We need each other.
We do. And the thing is with homeschoolers, so so often what we're doing is we're saying, oh, well, I want to do homeschool like these people, or I want to do homeschool like the Bartletts or the Billhimers or whoever. And then, but I turn around and I go, no, please don't. Do homeschooling like it's supposed to be done for your family. You can
Yeah, your
incorporate a couple of
children.
things from us, learn a little bit here and there, but you as a parent have the right and the ability to understand exactly what your homeschool needs to be. That's why we aren't really trying to push a lot of curriculum and a lot of things on here. We're trying to teach parents, how do you set it up for success? And then as a parent, you're going to feel much more comfortable to say, I think I can do this. And you know what? I'm going to start thinking outside the box. And I've got this child that does this, and this child that's doing this, and this child's doing. Let me improve those talents, and let's get them on their life missions like they're supposed to be, and not a life mission that Dale and Michelle said they had to be on.
So I mentioned before that we sent this out to different people to kind of test it and see what they thought. And our niece who's homeschooling, she said, wow, I learned in 10 minutes what it took me 3 years to figure out all by myself.
Yeah, it was in regards to a personality. She could not figure out how to teach her son. His personality was such, it took her 3 years to figure it out. And she said, I watched the video on his personality after I took the personality test. And in 10 minutes, Natalie basically taught me what it took me 3 years to do. And that's what we're trying to solve here. We're trying to keep parents from going through that frustration of trying to figure it out. Here's some really good building blocks that you can use.
So back to what
That
you
makes
said
so
before,
much sense.
is simplifying it so they know where to start, how to start, and have that confidence to do it.
So we're going to have also on here in July, we're doing a homeschool summit, and we'll get information. If you're interested in that, make sure that you email us at staff@at simplifiedhomeschooling.com, or just go on to our website and you can contact us there. But you'll want to, especially if you're a new at homeschooling, if you're thinking about homeschooling and you ran across this video and you say, yeah, I think I need to do this, then this is the homeschooling summit. This isn't going to be a normal homeschool conference where it's a whole bunch of just people that have been homeschooling forever, and they're going to get their curriculum and get a little bit of inspiration here and there. We're going to have speakers that are going to talk directly to how do we make sure that everything is set up properly in our homes and ourselves and everything else, and do it. We've got keynote speakers. I know right now Richard Paul Evans is going to be our first keynote speaker about the importance of books. We've got, I
love it. Nicolene Peck is checking her calendar to check. And if so, she'll be able to join us. And of course, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people know what she talks about, right? Yeah. Teaching self-government, which is super important on understanding how to do things with our children and our family to make things more successful. So we are hoping.
It sounds like a fantastic lineup that you're going to have.
Yeah, we're going to have an amazing lineup and an amazing summit. It's going to be virtual. So, and we're going to, the people we're bringing on, there's going to be some cost to that. So we're going to try and just spread that cost out amongst the participants. We're anticipating between 500 and 1,000 people. That's what we're gearing this conference for, because homeschooling right now is such a big thing. If you look at what's going on in the school systems, and just even not even just the, hey, we're not even letting your kids come to school, but just what's being taught in school these days. A lot of parents are saying, I'm done. I want my kids to have a better education than what they're getting.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that is kind of just what we are, what you're offering here is such a better chance at a better education. And I thank you so much for coming on and for showing us what you've got here. I just think that this is something that I would love to just share with everyone who's thinking about homeschooling or who's even been started here for a while. I want to go and I want to look around the website more, and I want to like I mean just like the personality test and everything. So fantastic. So
There's part of the website that you can get if you just logged on with your email and your password that you create. You can get into parts of it. We were looking at first a subscription base where you had just a monthly fee, and we're just adding more and more stuff to this every day. But we decided to just do a one-time fee
for right now.
Yeah, and for the core parts of the website, which is everything right now. And as we grow it, we'll look and see how that model changes at anywhere. But we'll protect the people who come on early on, and make sure that they have the value that we want to bring to this. There's a lot of cost involved in putting together websites like this with this much content and videos and everything else. So we're trying to just cover our basic costs and then go from there.
So in the details on the page, because we're going to put this video on our page right now, because these things might change. Maybe if you could just put what things are, how much that it it is to participate in this. So it's down there after. That would be great.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. In the comments.
We'll do that. It's $79 right now. If you were to pay for each individual video for like a $9 video, we have over $500 worth of value right now, but it's growing so fast. We're going to have a whole health section just for moms. And we're talking mental health, physical health, nutrition. We're going to have a whole nutrition section for moms. We're going to have how to create meals for an entire, how to create meals
they do. If mom's not well, like nobody's going to be okay, are they? Mom's got to be doing well.
We got to keep mom happy, to keep everybody else happy. We're going to show you how to create an entire month's worth of freezer meals in a day. And then you don't have to worry about cooking for the rest of the month.
Hallelujah, right? Yeah. Wasn't that
fantastic?
What are we having for dinner tonight?
This is fantastic. Well,
so right there gives you a little bit of information, but we'll go ahead and put it on in the comment section as well.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
We have a lot of passion for this, as you can tell. Being pulled out of retirement like we were into homeschooling, homeschooling retirement, we thought, let's give all that we can. And there's so much knowledge, especially in this lady right here and Natalie, to be able to do this. They just finished a book called Anyone Can Do It, Homeschool Simplified. And that's going to be a free download on the webpage as well. And it really does open your eyes to why you should be homeschooling.
So if you haven't,
I think this is such a great place. Oh, sorry, what was that?
I was just saying, if you haven't thought about it, then you definitely should. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just, and so true. And I think this is like a fantastic place to get started and then just to continue with, because wow, I think the value here is like way more than what you're even asking for it.
And that's what we hope for. Like I say, we're not looking to start a whole new career out of this. We really truly want to help and empower moms and dads in a homeschooling way that they say, this is the success. This is what success looks like. And it's not going to be success every day. I don't care who you are. You're going to have days where you're just going to feel like, I can't do this anymore.
But that's normal whether you're in school or you're not, right? Yeah. So
it's true.
Yeah. And the nice thing about this is you can say, fine, for the next week, we're not doing it anymore. And we're going to regroup and we're going to go back to off the treadmill.
Yeah, because your kids are going to be okay and you can just keep
fine.
Yeah. And they don't stop learning.
No. And that's the thing.
We're dealing with education. Yeah, not just school.
Once the kids start into this process, you can stop homeschooling for a week. They're still going to homeschool them. They're still going to learn because they know how to learn now.
And they have that excitement.
Yeah, and that passion for it. Yeah, that's what we're trying to get at.
Well, thank you so much again for being here. And I so appreciate you and all of the things that you are doing to I think this is a mission that you have that and when someone has that kind of enthusiasm and all, that it's going to be something that is really going to be amazing, is going to help you so much. And I am just blown over with how beautiful that your website is and
Oh, thank you.
how much wonderful content that there is there in for so many different aspects of homeschool. So I'm super excited to check into it more. Just for me, even, and we've been homeschooling for 17, 18, whatever years. And,
You're a novice.
Yeah.
and,
But
and
seriously, you will find little nuggets in here that you're going to go, oh, I wish I would have known that 17 years ago, but I can still use them today.
Yep.
We're
definitely,
using them with our
yes.
grandchildren now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I wish I'd known this from my older children. And now with my younger children, I can use this.
Yeah.
And like, I'm so glad because they, have their own special things that they need. And so glad to be able to have this. So
Thank you so much.
yes, thank you. Thank you so much for being here and telling us all about this. And there will be more information in the comment section.
Sounds great.
So,
Thanks so much.
thank you.